Hello and welcome to your new moon reading. So our old patterns of being are coming to an end. This is both individually for our personal lives as well as collectively throughout the world stage. And these junctures are becoming more and more visible. I'll give you an example: the death of the last pope and the resignation of Klaus Schwab, chairman of the World Economic Forum. These are major changes that are marking the endings of some outdated cycles in our reality. These cycles have been going on for hundreds and thousands of years. And these endings are making space for something new to emerge, leaving us, the collective, at the helm of what we would like to bring forth in this new reality that has been presented to us. Now, these are signs that we are continuing to transition into a new dimension of reality. Whether we call it New Earth, 5D consciousness, or the Great Awakening, we are the co-creators of this transformational process. And each individual is incredibly powerful, and each of us, knowingly or unknowingly, collaborates with these divine cosmic forces that influence and shape our world. And every day, the more conscious awareness and presence that we can embody through these major changes in every moment of the day, in every action, and in every word we speak, the more power and influence we have in creating our lives that we want to experience and steering the collective destiny. And this was all initiated by the solar eclipse and retrograde energies of last month and the pink moon in Libra 2 weeks ago that has activated us into restoring divine connection with all the relationships in our life, past, present, and future. And since we've been moving through this ending cycle, not only in the past few months, but in the past few years, there has been major collapses and disruptions in our reality that has been changing. These are endings of a cycle. This is part of that destruction process that we are currently navigating. And since we've moved through this ending cycle, we are now entering and meeting a new beginning. And this is the super new moon in Taurus, which occurs on April 27th at 3:29 p.m. Now, a supermoon means that the moon is reaching its closest proximity to the Earth, which makes it extra powerful. Now, new moons are always the beginning of a new lunar cycle, which means it's the perfect time to set forth and plant your new moon intentions, dedications, wishes, hopes, and dreams for the future. This is cosmically the most powerful time to call forth your future. So I suggest the present you carve out some time in your schedule to meet with the future you and together collaborate on creating the future timeline that you would like to experience. So for example, if you would like to experience more joy in your life, and you decide that your new moon dedication is to experience more joy, then you should plan your life accordingly, meaning write down your new moon dedication with as much detail as possible. What does joy mean to you? What brings you joy? What kind of joy do you invite in your life? And place it somewhere that will remind you as often as possible. Do a sacred ritual for inviting and calling forth more joy into your life. And actively make dedicated time in your schedule for what brings you joy, whatever that means for you. Now, if by chance we have an energetic blockage that is preventing us from experiencing joy, and we haven't fully worked through and resolved that, then we can expect to be faced with situations and circumstances that will evoke what is left unresolved within our greater field of being and initiate us to move through these often unpleasant experiences so that once we've moved through and cleared these energetic blockages, we have now made more room and more space for joy to enter into our experience. Now, this new moon in Taurus is ruled by Venus, and this Taurus new moon is harnessing all of that fiery, trailblazing, and inspirational energies of Aries and collaborating with the beautiful, creative, divine feminine energies of Venus. So the universe is flooding us with this cosmic cocktail of action and creation energies, which is the perfect recipe for setting new moon intentions. Now, this new moon occurs at 7 degrees of Taurus. So to see where this new moon is activating you personally, find where 7 degrees of Taurus lands in your birth chart. What house does 7 degrees of Taurus land in your birth chart? And that will point you to what part of your greater self and your life may be calling for something new to be created. For example, for the East Coast of the United States, this new moon falls into the 8th house, which is how we collectively use our resources. So there are some changes on the horizon on how we resource ourselves as a community, a society, and a nation. And each of us has a unique place in which these cosmic creative forces that influence and shape our world are pointing to for our conscious awareness and attention so that we can be in alignment with these divine creative forces of our universe. And we can find this in our birth chart. Now, on the world stage, there is an obvious end to a major cycle or a major ending in our world, and that is the ending of an external religious control. And this is for those who are wanting that. And has been initiated by the death of the last pope, meaning for those who are ready and wanting to claim their own sovereign connection to the divine and no longer need an external outlet to connect with the divine, such as a church or a religion, will find themselves moving through an awakening or an activation process in which they not only find, but also claim their divine sovereignty and their unique connection with the divine by discovering their true divine essence, their true divine purpose in their life, and their divine rightful place within this greater cosmic universe that we all participate in. Now, these are huge movements that will take years to fully unfold in each individual, but this process has already been initiated. So now it's up to us. This process has already started. So what timeline do we want to call forth for ourselves? And each of us individually will call forth our own unique timelines. And the collective timeline will respond to how each individual calls forth their future. And that is where we find our true place of power. It resides within ourselves. Instead of trying to change the world around us, if we focus on ourselves and change ourselves and bring forth our future destiny that we want to experience, the collective destiny will respond and shape to how each individual moves through these transitions. And so we have moved into a season of fixed earth energy, this Taurus energy. So spending more time in nature, Finding our inner peace and grounding will be the best medicine for stabilizing ourselves and enabling ourselves to embody more presence and conscious awareness. That this shift, these changes are calling for us to embody as the world moves through these major transitions. And so I hope you guys enjoyed this new moon reading, this new moon in Taurus, and I will see you for the next lunar reading in 2 weeks for the full moon. Until then, bye guys.